A reminder to our guests in the galleries, expressions of approval or disapproval are not permitted in the Senate gallery. Are there any senators in the chamber who wish to vote or change a vote? If not, on this vote, the ayes are 50, the nays are 48. The nomination of Brett M. Kavanaugh of Maryland to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States is confirmed.
All right, joining us now, South Dakota Senior Senator John Thunes, also the Senate Republican Conference Chairman. Senator, you got this across the finish line. How do you feel right now?
Very historic, Shannon. This is a terrific day for the American people. This is why Republicans got elected. It was because we were committed to putting judges on the court who are going to apply the law and the Constitution as it is written. And that is what Judge Kavanaugh represents. And so we think this is a great day for America. It's a great day for the Supreme Court. And it's a great day for the rule of law.
I know that people focus on these moments, but you all do get things done. There are actually things that are done in a bipartisan manner, things that get passed on the Hill. But there seem to be some great wounds and divisions between friendships and relationships across the aisle right now. What's your feeling on that front? I mean, do you pick up and go back to work, mend these relationships? How does it work from here?
Well, I mean, there are lots of things, as you pointed out, in bills that we passed this week. We passed major pieces of legislation. I was down at the White House yesterday for a bill signing ceremony with the president. He signed it into law. Things are getting done. Things will get done going forward. But this is an unfortunate chapter, and it's an unfortunate chapter because of the way in which Democrats cynically exploited this letter from Dr. Ford at the 11th hour to try and sink this nomination, and it didn't work. I think the American people understand what's at stake here, and I think the message that we are sending is that an unproven, unsubstantiated, uncorroborated accusation from your high school years doesn't forever disqualify you from public service. And so this nomination moved forward. We got it to where we are today. We're excited about the confirmation vote and think that Judge Kavanaugh is going to be a great justice on the Supreme Court.
Senator Thune, there are some people who suggest one of the reasons that these Supreme Court fights have become so political is actually because of a failure by Congress to get more done, that you don't solve, you collectively, not you personally, right, sir, the great issues, whether it's immigration or other key issues. And as a result, a lot of these political issues end up before the court, and they have to step in because of the void. Do you think there's some legitimacy to that complaint?
You know, I think, Chris, that it can always be argued that the legislative process is slow and arduous and cumbersome, and that's the way the founders designed it, particularly, of course, as we know here in the Senate. But we don't need a super legislature on the Supreme Court. And I think that what you see here is two very distinct judicial philosophies. One, the Democrats being, we want a super legislature. We want to get the outcomes that we desire in a matter of a political process. We don't believe that's what the court is about. We think the court historically and to this day needs to be about being that umpire that calls balls and strikes in an even-handed way that is fair in the way that it handles these cases and faithful to the law and the Constitution. We believe that's what the role of a justice is, and I do think that there's probably been a deviation from that for a long time now, and we think that the kinds of judges the president is nominating, the kinds of judges that we're processing and confirming, both to the lower courts and, of course, now to the Supreme Court, represent the kind of justice that I think people in this country expect and what our founders intended.
Senator John Thune, thank you, sir, for your time.
Great to be with you. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Chris.
All right, we've got much more live coverage ahead soon. To be Justice Kavanaugh could join the court as early as Tuesday.
We've got to do a better job of getting across that America is freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion.